Hello, welcome to the Well, I really yelled that. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Hi, welcome to the Mad Journey, a video blog about my trials in getting my son Michael back to me through the court system. Now, before we dive in, I want to say to any parents out there that are going through a divorce or going through a breakup and you guys have kids, please try not to involve the courts. We're all adults. Try to come to an agreement. As long as you guys are two reasonable people, it's best to come to an agreement and avoid the headaches of the courts. Trust me, it is a headache. Now, that in mind, even if you go through the courts or you do it on your own, one topic that will come up is child support. Now, what child support is, it's the financial obligation you have to your kid or children. As any parent will tell you, kids are extremely expensive, and any parent raising the child alone should have some kind of financial support. If you do decide to go through the court, child support is determined by your finances. Usually, most courts have a website or something that where it does like a child support calculator where you put in your finances and all that stuff, and it will give you an estimation of how much you'll pay in child support. Most of the time, they just take it from your paycheck. In some cases, you can pay it yourself separately. You just like make payments to the court or something like that. But for the most part, they garnish it from your paycheck, which sucks. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it is something that you don't have to worry about if they're just taking it from your paycheck. It already sucks bad enough that taxes come out, but then you see child support, you're like, oh, damn it. And you'll see what you would have made without it, like, oh, damn it. It's okay though. I mean, it's going to a good cause. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It happens. It sucks, but it's for your kid, and yeah. So that's how that goes. Now, when Michael left, even though I was incredibly upset and sad, there was really nothing I can do about it. He was already gone. That was that. I had to accept the fact that he was gone. Focus and acceptance. Me and his mother came to an agreement on child support that I would pay every month. And sometimes in between those months, she would ask for a little more money or money in between or something like that. Either way, fine. That's totally fine because any good father will tell you you can't fathom the idea of your kid not having diapers, having food because you didn't give up some of your money because you're angry or whatever the hell it is. So I had no problem in paying child support. This is probably the most agreeable we were at that time. As I said before, I had to wait a year before I moved to California because my lease had just been renewed and they wouldn't let me get out of it. So in that meantime, I was paying child support. A year later, when I actually moved to California, we came to another agreement about child support because of the fact that had just moved to a new state and I was still, getting my bearings, learning the lay of the land, basically. We came to an agreement about child support in which I would pay what I could. If they needed money, I would provide it. And, we'd kind of like playing it by ear until I found a steady job because I was working on my savings. Once again, the most agreeable we were pretty much the entire time. I was luckily staying with my brother while I was finding a job. Once I found a job, I moved out, found a room for rent at a place in Pasadena, and, started working. The child support thing didn't come up until I think a year later, and here's why. In the year that I was in Jersey still, I met an awesome girl. She eventually became my girlfriend. And when I moved to California, she was still in Jersey, but by October, which was the fourth month I was there, she came out and moved in with me. We were both working, and the a about I say half a year later, like sometime in late winter, early spring, we found out that she was pregnant. And of course, my family members were like shaking their heads, like, "Oh God, again, Lamont." We finally found a place, despite of our terrible credit, in October of the next year, which was like a month before my youngest son was a month before her due date, which is lucky. So we finally moved into a new place. So happy, so excited, you know, and I thought it was important to let Michael's mother know about the new baby. One, because Michael's gonna have a little brother. I've always wanted a little brother, and I've had two big brothers, and it was fun. We always had a lot of fun together, and also big brothers play a big role in your life. You know, aside from your father, they're the ones that also mold you into the person you are and teach you a lot of different things. So I thought it was really cool. You know, Michael's gonna have a little brother. How awesome is that? So I let her know. About 2 weeks later or something like that, I get a letter from the court saying that that she's coming after me for child support. Awesome. Now, here's where child support gets a little screwy. Like in my situation, when child support came after me first, they based my child support on on me living in a room and blah blah. They didn't take my new situation into account, so they were charging me this amount that I just simply couldn't pay. So I had no choice but to request a modification of child support. Thankfully, I was in a place that does that. Some places don't. Some places the child support laws are ridiculous. And what I mean by ridiculous is that, well, it is quite known that child support laws can be a little harsh on fathers. They kind of put these unrealistic expectations on you, which can lead to very messed up consequences. In South Carolina, for example, if the mother is receiving public benefits and child support, if you're late on child support after 5 days, you can get called into a hearing where you can possibly, if you don't provide a decent reason for not paying child support, you can possibly get held in contempt of court and be sent to jail for up to a year for not paying child support. That's right. Get sent to jail after 5 days of not paying child support. Surveys were done at two county jails in South Carolina where 1 out of 8 prisoners were there because of child support. There are some states that overcharge fathers millions and millions of dollars, of course, not all at one time, but they overcharge fathers millions and millions of dollars in child support. And the messed up part is, oftentimes there's no guarantee that child support is going to the kid. So, theoretically, a woman can meet a man, have a baby with him, break up with him, and then get public benefits from the state, get child support from him, and then just be good. And he has to go through all this crap just to see his son while she is just chilling there, sitting with his money, whatever, doing whatever she pleases. That is why child support laws and family laws in general have to be reformed because they are being abused ridiculously. There are mothers out there benefiting off the fact that family laws are kind of designed to protect them and not so much the father. Probably the most disturbing thing about all of this is that finances don't make a good father. A big issue in my situation is that seeing my son was seemed to always be based on what I made, what I had, materialistic things. But as I said, being a good father doesn't mean having certain things. To me, anyway, being a good father means being a good moral compass for your kid. That is the parent that we should all aspire to be. And that is the parent that I am. And I'm going to be for my son. I just need the chance to be. You know, you can't be a good father if you're not given the opportunity to. So, to recap, child support. It's something very important and something very much needed, and it will come up if you are two parents that break up or divorce or whatever have you. Child support is an issue that will come up, but as I said before, it is extremely beneficial and will save you a lot of headaches if you guys just work it out on your own. We're adults. Well, hopefully you're an adult. We're adults. We can work this out. It's not hard. If you are two reasonable people, You can find a way to make it work. But if for whatever reason one parent is being uncooperative or both are, whatever the case is, you're going to have to go to court and they will determine all that stuff for you. It's a pain in the ass, but if it's a necessity, you got to do what you got to do. There was a guy that I spoke to the other day that started fighting for his kid when I think he or she was 3 and didn't get any results, didn't get to have custody until he was 12. You know, that's 9 years. 9 years of fighting just to be in the kid's life. That's ridiculous, especially if you're paying child support. So please, please, if you can work things out, it's always in the best interest of for you and the child to just work it out and figure it out for yourselves because it's court. Going to court is a big headache. Also, being a good father has nothing to do with money or materialistic things, possessions, or anything like that. That has nothing to do with being a good father. A good father is a role model and guidance and love. That's what, and comfort. That's what a good father is. Please follow me on Twitter at Fight for Mikey, hashtag Bring Mikey Back. I also started a Facebook page titled The Mad Journey. Please like it, follow it, and yeah, thank you for watching.